Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. All set to go, we take you to the first hole. Stepping up to the first tee, Frank, what are some keys to be...
When he goes after it like he is here.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
That is just a beautiful shot. Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
Generous green, just a little bit uphill. Not minute, really. Big green to hit into, though.
Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
Oh, without a doubt, that will be on the highlight reel later tonight. Excellent shot. So, Frank, a par 4 to open, and we back it up with a relatively short par 3.
This green's surrounded by 6 bunkers. Green also shaped slightly towards the player's left, so just keep your eye on that depending on where the flag is.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. So a par 4 to open, then a par 3, and now Frank here at the third, a par 5 at 528 yards.
And you get to see everything very early on in the round. Dogleg left first hole, par 3 second, and now a long dogleg right, par 5. With a good tee shot, though, you can definitely reach this hole in 2.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, I thought he made that. Are you kidding me? He just missed that. I cannot believe that. That was such a short putt. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Nice birdie and a nice little move on the leaderboard, getting to 2 under par. For those of you just tuning in, we're checking in now on our featured golfer here at the fourth. Couple of birdies already on the card. Still early, Frank, but we've seen some solid play.
This is exactly how you want to start the first round of the tournament, Rich.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie.
It's no snack, though.
just has the feel today. Back on the tee here at Banff Springs, fifth hole, 424-yard par 4. What's the setup here, Frank?
Well, it's very tempting to try and hit a draw because that's the way in which the hole is shaped. But the main goal is to make sure that you can take that second bunker, the one on the left side, out of play with that tee shot.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Second shot now to the par 4 fifth.
Just minimally uphill, Rich, with the green too that opens up towards that left side. Just want to make sure you carry the front and pitch the ball well into the middle of the screen and not really worry about it. Once the flag is past that middle section, though, players are definitely going to have to go further left.
That's a nice approach shot. It's about 15 feet away. A good chance for a birdie.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Just a little tap in here. Knocks that putt in for par to stay at 3 under. Frank, the sixth here at Banff Springs, a good little hole, isn't it?
It is very tempting, very easy to sort of just stand up there and wail away with the driver and get caught. This is a generous fairway. You could hit any club down there and you're not going to have a problem with the second shot. So it's just trying to find a yardage that you're comfortable with. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and a chance for a birdie.
Getting set now over the putt.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
And he makes it for par. Well, Frank, this is the longest hole on the golf course, 602 yards, obviously a par 5, though. But guys like Rory have to be thinking about making an easy 4, getting home in 2.
Yeah, you referenced it. Longest hole on the golf course. Yet Rory McIlroy still reached it in 2.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
Rich, it's been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water. Frank, only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Now a putt for par.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. Knock that down for par, remains at 4 under. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5. Interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 4s. This one not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one you have to be a little bit careful though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s.
Well, Frank, what do you like here? Second shot to this par 5.
I like just the general terrain, Rich. Even though the water's on the right side, you want to keep away from that, which actually makes that ball go towards the general upslope of the green.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? This for birdie. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank, he'll be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
So off the long par 3 10th, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Solid play, heart of the green. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. All right, on to the 12th hole, 442-yard par 4. What do you like about this hole, Frank?
Just a nice par 4 that sort of bends to the player's right. A lot of people will just stand up here, grab the driver. You have to do that, Rich. The hole's not overly long. Just something short or down that left side. You're only going to have a short iron in from the second shot.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Thirteenth hole, par 3, 225 yards and heavily bunkered around that green, Frank.
It is, but that green gets narrower as the hole gets longer. Nothing wrong with hitting the ball sort of the middle part of the green here.
This one's looking good. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. This can be a cruel game at times. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
So just a formality here. So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Well, here we are at the 14th hole. It's a par 4, 442 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, but if you were spraying it off the tee here, then there's all sorts of problems. Bunkers left, trees right. This is a fairway you must hit. Rich, that is annihilation of a golf ball.
Absolutely love it. I mean, he just tore that thing to pieces. Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Settles in over the putt. He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. And he's putting for par now.
And that par certainly won't hurt the course.
Still some time. And Frank, ahead on the green, you could have a really crazy putt if you're not careful.
This is probably the most undulating green on the golf course. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Here's to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there.
Can we get a measure on that one? It's enormous.
Frank, club selection so important on this second shot here at the 16th.
Yeah, any time that the elements don't work in your favor, and by that I mean here the false front, everything rolling back, then you've got to actually be more aggressive, and you're going to get the reward. So it's not like playing reckless golf. It's just the terrain dictates that you fly the ball every inch of the way.
And with that, birdie moves into a tie for the lead.
Got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Just 2 holes left here at Banff Springs, and Frank, another par for this one. Short, 374 yards.
It is. It's named Sarsi, which is a tribute to the Indian tribes here and the First Nations of Canada. So just think about that when you're teeing it off here on what is not an overly difficult par 4.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Second shot, good look at the green. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
This putt for par.
Just dwindling the holes down. Pars are fine right now.
Well, Frank, this sets up for an exciting finish here at Banff Springs, a 578-yard par 5.
There's just about a bunker in play for every length of tee shot here, so know exactly which one you can carry and exactly which one you can't reach.
Always want that last drive of the day to be a good one, and they've done it. That is excellent. This is all feel with a lob wedge. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
Oh, and it's good. What an amazing putt. Well, Frank, round one in the books. Look who's on top of the leaderboard.
And that's with some strong play today. They don't really need to look back. Strong play heading into the second round tomorrow.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. And now we go down to the first hole. Stepping up to the first tee and off a surprisingly good first round. Let's see if our featured player can conjure up some of that magic here in round two. Nice drive right in the fairway and a good swing on that one. Now the approach shot here at the par 4 first.
Generous green, just a little bit uphill. Not minute, really. Big green to hit into, though.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, it's always nice to begin a round with a little variety. We had a relatively short par 4 opening hole and now a par 3 to back it up.
You can see why short iron play is going to be paramount today, Rich. Short iron into the first hole and a chance here to hit another short iron into a short par 3. So you can get off to a very fast start.
Just another solid shot, about 8 feet from the hole. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
Sniffing in the right direction.
Well, Frank, as we get to the third hole here at par 5, it feels to me like you need to be at a minimum 1 under through the first 3 holes or you're losing ground to the field.
You're exactly right. Chance here for birdie or eagle, too. This is one of those holes you can just wind it up and let it fly. And you'll certainly get a good reward with a big tee shot.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. All right, Frank, what's the right play here on this second shot to the par 5 third?
Well, even though that hole is a dogleg to the right, the best way to bring it in actually is to use the general contours, which is right to left, and the shape of the shot in that direction as well. So it might look like a little cut, but it actually suits a little draw.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. 21 feet from pay dirt. Oh, I thought he had that. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Chance for back-to-back. Yet another birdie and yet another tie at the top of the leaderboard.
Frank, it's always fun to play a par 3 just like this one.
Yeah, the ball's going to go further. Obviously, get to tee it up. Should be able to carry that water. That's really the only problem for the player in front. But once again, another good chance for a birdie.
192-yard par 3 fourth.
really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line. No mistake made there with the par.
Frank, what's the key here at the 5th hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers. First one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, aim at that and not reach it.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there, and right down Peachtree. Second shot now to the par 4 5th.
Just minimally uphill, Rich, with a green too that opens up towards that left side. Just want to make sure you carry the front. You can pitch the ball well into the middle of the screen and not really worry about it. Once the flag is past that middle section, though, players are definitely going to have to go further left.
Birdie try again here today. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 6th hole, reasonably short at 373 yards. A lot of golfers arrive at a hole like this and they'll think, well, I'm just going to blast it away because it's such a short 4. You think these kinds of holes require a little more thinking?
They certainly do, Rich. If you can't drive it to the front edge of the green, there's no point really trying to hit it through that narrow neck. You can just sort of knock a 3-wood down there, or something that's going to give you a decent yardage where you can at least spin that second shot. You can guarantee that ball's going to stop when it lands. It's going to be much easier than trying to fashion some sort of pitch and run.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Those keep the round going, those par putts. Now to the second par 5 on this opening 9. Frank, this is a pretty long hole, 602 yards.
Well, it's called hoodoo. Do you know what hoodoo means? It means bad luck, actually, so you don't really want to be thinking about that on this tee shot. 602 yards, if you belt one off the tee, well, you might avoid the bad luck.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Can't ask for much more here at the 7th. He has hit a good one. He is really playing well today, Frank.
Extremely well, given these conditions. High winds, the ability to judge the ball around these conditions, and putted well, too. Putting in the wind also not the easiest thing to do.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. Right in the heart. Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. When that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
But this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3. Second shot.
This has really been a good bounce-back round. Slow at the start, now they're picking up some speed. So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards, it's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of chute of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. This is position A, right in the fairway, and 180 yards to go.
Surely not. Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you've just got to keep out of your own way. Should be safely on deck.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 11th hole. It's a par 4, 417 yards. Frank, what's the key here?
A nice little draw down that left side would be the ideal tee shot. The carry on the two little bunkers down the left side really isn't overly long, but that's the desired entry into this green.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Great effort right there, and a great chance to knock in that short putt. This one just requires a little bit of focus. putting on a show. This tournament moves to 15 under par. Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Boat. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Boat. Dog legs to the player's right. A couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
Excellent looking shot here. Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
Dialed in now for this second shot here to the 12th hole, Frank.
A chance for another birdie, Rich. Just be a little aware of the screen. Nice little rolls and contours and different levels. So just be aware of exactly where that flag is cut today. And just try and keep it on that section.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Wow, what a shot. Doesn't even need the putter. Par 3, 13th. It's 225 yards. Frank, you happy walking out of here with a 3?
Yeah, take a 3, go to the next hole, unless it's match play.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Well, here we are at the 14th hole. It's a par 4, 442 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, but if you were spraying it off the tee here, then there's all sorts of problems. Bunkers left, trees right. This is a fairway you must hit.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Different day, different hole. Made bogey yesterday. He'll do better this time, it looks like. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
So they'll tap in. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Now to the 15th tee, and Frank, this looks like a fun shot to hit.
It won't play its full yardage because of that elevated tee, but a good one out here. We might see one of those 350, 360 plus yard drives.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Frank, this second shot to the par 4 15th is what you might call a professional's shot. Explain why.
Yeah, there's always an advantage if a better player can shape a shot. So you have a long second shot, but just the way this green is, notice there's a slightly better entry from the left side. So the better player would try and hit a little fade in there. That's what might appear the safest shot coming in, but it's going to actually give you the best chance of hitting it close. General run-of-the-mill shot sometimes would just bash it away over that right bunker, but it's not really the way in which that hole's designed. Really solid stroke.
Moving on to number 16 now. It's a par 4, 414 yards. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
It's another hole that'll favor a nice sort of high draw off the tee. It'll set up that second shot to a green that has got several different levels on it.
Frank, if this were baseball, that would be an upper deck moonshot.
It'd be out of the stands. But not only that, it is in the middle of the fairway. Long, Incredibly long and straight.
Tape measure shot. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. He's made it. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunkie should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you'll certainly hit.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Just misses. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, here we are at the final hole here at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5, and Frank, a chance to finish the round with a flourish.
If you're one of the fortunate to hit this fairway, it's very reachable, but well protected by bunkers, left, right, central bunkers as well. You really have to be aware of two things, the wind direction and exactly how far you can carry that tee shot if you want to find this fairway.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up.
Yeah, that was just begging there for a good putt.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. Drops for a birdie. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after two rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live third round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. We're off and running here, and let's take you down to the action at hole number 1. Frank, we saw it in round number 2.
He goes after it like he is here.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Good swing, good shot yet again. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Getting set now over the putt. Has it. Frank, how about the par 3 second hole?
The first of 5 par 3s the players will play today, Rich. This one's surrounded by bunkers, but certainly one of the shorter par 3s. So with a good tee shot here, you can imagine you could easily get a putt inside 10 to 15 feet for birdie.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. These putts keep the round together. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
So par 4 to open, then a par 3, and now Frank here at the third, a par 5 at 528 yards.
And you get to see everything very early on the round. Dogleg left first hole, par 3 second, and now a long dogleg right, par 5. With a good tee shot, though, you can definitely reach this hole in 2.
Wow, Frank, look at that one out. Just blistered that tee shot.
That has to be 325 if it's an inch.
Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
You're swinging it well. Certainly hit the ball in the right place there, and that's a good thing too. He's actually putting well.
Well, Frank, no doubt this is one of the most photographed holes in all of golf.
Yeah, Devil's Cauldron, just get to the front of the tee there, get the camera out. The vistas there are amazing. You see the mountains in the background. This green surrounded by the pine trees. Of course, if you like a lake or two, there's a lake just in front of that green. Just to give you that little color of blue in the snapshot you're going to take.
I like to look at them, not swimming. Certainly not fish golf balls out. Down it. That's a birdie. Well, again, Frank, we get that good mix of holes here. We've had a couple of par 3s, a short par 5, and that opening par 4. Now at the 5th hole, 424-yard par 4.
The first bunker on the right, not really in play for the good players. Just be a little cognizant of that one on the left side, depending on what club you want to hit off the tee. Ideally, that line is the 3rd bunker, the one in the distance. That's a good line off the tee here. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, the 6th here at Banff Springs, a good little hole, isn't it?
It is very tempting, very easy to sort of just stand up there and wail away with the driver and get caught. This is a generous fairway. You could hit any club down there and you're not going to have a problem with the second shot. So it's just trying to find a yardage that you're comfortable with.
It's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, hole shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Well, Frank, how about this hole? 602 yards, a par 5. Although I guess I shouldn't be that surprised. 602 yards these days for a long hitter.
What do you say? It's a drive and a 7-iron?
That's a mid-range par 5.
Well, yeah, 2 woods, the longer hitters will definitely get at home there, especially in good conditions. But bunker down the left, avoid that, carry that, and then we can think about the second shot.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Frank, you like this kind of design feature where you go from the longest hole in the course immediately to the shortest hole.
Certainly, golf giveth and golf taketh away. This is just minimally uphill, just a couple of feet, but you can see from the overview the design of the green. And that flag's on the right, it's a little bit of a longer carry, so just be a little cognizant of that. You don't have to hit it directly at the flag.
Makes the putt for a birdie. Just love the variety here on the front side, Frank, coming off that short par 3 8th. Now we go to another par 5 to round out the side, 501 yards.
And the third par 5, interesting front 9 here. 3 par 5s, 3 par 3s and 3 par 4s. This one not the longest par 5, but still reachable. This one you have to be a little bit careful though. This is probably the toughest driving hole on the front 9 with regard to par 5s. Rich, that is annihilation of a golf ball.
Absolutely love it. I mean, he just tore that thing to pieces. Wow, Frank, that was an absolute bomb right there.
Yeah, what's longer than long? Because we just saw it. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Now this for birdie. Came away with par in the previous round.
Virtually no error in that putting stroke. Good putt.
Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We are back on this beautiful day here at Banff Springs in the Canadian Rockies. Set to kick off all the action on the back 9. The 10th begin with a par 3, Frank, 218 yards.
And I have no idea why this is called Little Bow, because over 200 yards, you really have to bow up with this tee shot here. That's for sure. Bending there, you need something that comes out of the gate very, very straight and with a decent height on it as well. If you want to land on that left side of the green and make it stop.
So just a formality here. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
So off the long par 3 10th, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left. You really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply carry it over the ones on the left. But ideally down the left side, it avoids that pine tree that's further down.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game. That is burning through the atmosphere. Look at that thing. It's got a tail on it.
Yeah, that's like a rocket ship. That one was launched by NASA. He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Second shot. Good look at the green. Early part of his back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. This will be a 14-foot putt here. I think we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Par 3 13th. It's 225 yards. Frank, you happy walking out of here with a 3?
Yeah, take a 3, go to the next hole, unless it's match play.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday. Don't forget. Birdie here yesterday and to do it again today.
How did that not go in?
Good try. Just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you think, cleaning up here for par.
That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right. So the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
And Frank, ahead on the green, you could have a really crazy putt if you're not careful.
This is probably the most undulating green on the golf course, so you do not want to be going in with too flat a second shot.
That is a heat-seeking missile right there. Wow.
That club must have melted after that one.
Frank, what about this second shot here at 15?
It's one of the longest par 4s on the golf course, Rich, so you don't want to get too greedy. Green does open up on that left side. You see that bunker on the front of the green. It sort of protects that right side, so you can't bring it in. One of the few shots you could actually cut it into this green. This golf course normally suits the draw, but this hole here you can do well with one that goes in the other direction.
Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Frank, the 16th hole, 414 yards, par 4, is nicknamed GOAT. Would that be greatest of all time, or is it just because the possibility you could see old Billy out there here in the Canadian Rockies?
I'd like to think it's the greatest of all time. I've never seen a GOAT hit a draw, that's why, and that's what's needed off this tee once again. The first bunker, you should easily be able to carry that, and, well, if you're the greatest of all time, this is a fairway, you certainly have.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the 17th, 374 yards, and Frank, players might be licking their chops here.
They certainly would, Rich. Bunkers left and right, but they can be carried with an aggressive tee shot. And it'll set up just a short iron into a green that pitches towards you. So maybe just a look. He's gone for a little extra.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
Is it stopped yet?
It's still going.
Well, a hard hole after that tee shot has now become an easy hole.
It's the great equalizer. When you can drive the golf ball, Frank, just like that, boy, it opens up so many avenues, and he'll have plenty to choose from here. Looks good. Chance to make a birdie. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but the short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great picture.
Well, here we are at the final hole here at Banff Springs. 578-yard par 5, and Frank, a chance to finish the round with a flourish.
If you're one of the fortunate to hit this fairway, it's very reachable, but well protected by bunkers, left, right, central bunkers as well. You really have to be aware of two things: the wind direction and exactly how far you can carry that tee shot if you want to find this fairway.
This is all feel with a lob wedge. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take two.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Today it's live final round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. We start off here at the first with a par 4, 414 yards. Frank, what's the key to playing this hole?
You could hit driver or 3-wood down there. Their only real concern, that bunker a long way down the left side. 3-wood would never reach that. And just a short iron into a relatively flat green.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Frank, what's the best way to attack on this second shot, opening hole?
Less confusion, Rich. Just look at the flag. This is a fairly flat piece of fairway we're heading off, and to a green that's very generous.
Down, little Shiva. Down!
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
Great start.
Frank, it's always nice to begin a round with a little variety. We had a relatively short par 4 opening hole and now a par 3 to back it up.
You can see why short iron play is going to be paramount today, Rich. Short iron into the first hole and a chance here to hit another short iron into a short par 3. So you can get off to a very fast start.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Well, how about this start? Birdie, birdie to open the round.
Well, Frank, as we get to the third hole here at par 5, it feels to me like you need to be at a minimum 1 under through the first 3 holes or you're losing ground to the field.
You're exactly right. Chance here for birdie or eagle too. This is one of those holes you can just wind it up and let it fly, and you'll certainly get a good reward with a big tee shot.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Interesting, with the almost space-age advancements in golf equipment, what with new, lighter materials, and with the increased focus on fitness and strength, players are hitting the ball longer than ever. That has forced architects to lengthen the golf courses without sacrificing the integrity or the shot value of the original design.
So this is the third shot to the par 5.
Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
For par.
You know, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Frank, it's always fun to play a par 3 just like this one.
Yeah, the ball's going to go further. Obviously, get to tee it up. Should be able to carry that water. That's really the only problem for the player in front. But once again, another good chance for a birdie.
192-yard par 3 fourth. Seems to like it. Headed for the back part of the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Second shot. Great too.
Beautiful. Frank, what's the key here at the 5th hole? It's par 4, 424 yards.
The first real stringent tee shot of the day. 3 bunkers. First one not really in play. That third one in the distance, unless you're someone like a Bubba Watson, you should be able to aim at that and not reach it.
What a drive. Just tattooed that.
Frank, what are you thinking about on this approach here at the 5th?
Once again, with a good drive, you're left with a scoring club. By that I mean a short iron. Gives you a lot more options and a lot more flags you can go at. Even with a flag in the back left with a scoring club in hand, you can virtually just go straight at that. The ball will not kick too much once it hits the green.
Superb shot once again, and only about 15 feet away for a birdie. Settles in over the putt.
Oh, painful lip out. This is a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there.
Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 sixth hole, reasonably short at 373 yards, a lot of golfers arrive at a hole like this and they'll think, well, I'm just going to blast it away because it's such a short four. You think these kinds of holes require a little more thinking?
They certainly do, Rich. If you can't drive it to the front edge of the green, there's no point really trying to hit it through that narrow neck. You can just sort of knock a 3-wood down there or something that's going to give you a decent yardage where you can at least spin that second shot. If you can guarantee that ball's going to stop when it lands, that's going to be much easier than trying to fashion some sort of pitch and run.
Looks like he just misread that. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Continuing to putt with confidence.
Frank, the sixth here at Banff Springs a good little hole, isn't it?
It is very tempting, very easy to sort of just stand up there and wail away with the driver and get caught. This is a generous fairway. You could hit any club down there and you're not going to have a problem with the second shot. So it's just trying to find a yardage that you're comfortable with.
Wow, he moved that a long ways right in the fairway. Second from an excellent lie.
Obviously, Frank, you want to hit good shots at a place like this, but you also want to take some shots. You want to snap off a few pictures because it's breathtaking.
I thought you were talking about big game hunting there, where you're saying you don't want to shoot these animals. They're beautiful. No, yeah, it is. It's wonderful to come up here and play golf.
That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on all five.
Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water, Frank. Only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there. Just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Sizable putt from 16 feet.
Continues to putt beautifully. So we'll round out the front side here at Banff Springs with a par 5 and reasonably short at only 501 yards.
So very reachable because of that yardage that you just referenced. Hole bends a little bit to the right. You can favor the left side with a tee shot. It's just going to make that angle on the second a little bit easier.
Not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Well, Frank, what do you like here? Second shot to this par 5.
I like just the general terrain, Rich. Even though the water's on the right side, you want to keep away from that, which actually makes that ball go towards the general upslope of the green.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Had a birdie here yesterday, in there close. Great opportunity for another one. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Excellent front side. Trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good-looking birdie. So the dominant performance continues.
Yeah, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
So off the long par 3 10th, we are at the 11th hole, 417-yard par 4, Frank.
It looks like a straightaway par 4, Rich, but if anything, the hole actually bends to the left, and you really want to follow that natural contour of that. Just sort of draw it off those bunkers on the right, or just simply, he's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there.
Ball just took off the face.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Ooh, that hurts. Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Just a couple of feet. They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, what are we looking at here at the par 4 12, 442 yards?
Players are really focused on that bunker down the left side. That's the one that has to be either laid up, which would be 286 yards off the tee, or sort of worked off. This could very well be a 3-wood off the tee. Just hit it straight at that left bunker.
This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the Seagulls are walking to work.
Smokes it.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Excellent drive right there, Frank.
Circa 310.
All right, Frank, another chance to make something happen here at the 12th.
You could come in here a little low, try and skip it back towards the flag as it starts to narrow up to the back of the green. But anything a little underneath the flag, maybe slightly to the right of it, is going to be a better place to putt from.
We'll be pretty happy with that one. About 20 feet away in a good spot. Locked in on the read and the speed. This one has a chance, and he has a beautiful putt. Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225 yard, 13. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. Can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to tick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
That's a sensible approach shot right there. In good position on the green.
Now it's at sneaky distance.
That is a painful miss right there. And a bogey. Drop shot here at the 13th. Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up one.
Rich, I don't think that bogey is going to make any difference.
Frank, this par 4 14th hole at about 440 yards will test you all the way up to that green, won't it?
Yeah, it certainly will. It just looks like you should bash it over those bunkers down the left side, but the green pitches from left to right. So the best access is actually down the right side, coming in from that sort of right line. So don't be fooled here.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball, and this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Did the job right there.
Frank, looking out here on the 15th hole, this looks like a spot where you could really crank one that you could tell your buddies about.
It's another hole that suits a player that hits the ball right to left. It's no surprise to see why Rory McIlroy plays well around here. Nice, big, high towering draw. It's going to go that extra yardage because of the elevation.
Really powering up here. That, Frank, is position A.
Would you like to have that in your bag every day?
Love it. Second shot. Good look at the green. Just a case of the hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Moving on to number 16 now. It's a par 4, 414 yards. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
It's another hole that'll favor a nice sort of play draw off the tee. We'll set up that second shot of the green that has got several different levels on it. There's something about a well-hit shot.
That is an absolute seed. I mean, he just ripped a bullet down the fairway. Oh my goodness, 375 yards.
Oh, it looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Good roll, good putt.
Just 2 holes left here at Banff Springs, and Frank, another par 4. This one short, 374 yards.
It is. It's named Sarcee, which is a tribute to the Indian tribes here and the First Nations of Canada. So just think about that when you're teeing it off here on what is not an overly difficult par 4.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Superb shot once again, and only about 15 feet away for a birdie. Settles in over the putt.
How did that not go in?
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Well, here we are at the final hole here at Banff Springs. 578-yard par 5, and Frank, a chance to finish the round with a flourish.
If you're one of the fortunate to hit this fairway, it's very reachable, but well protected by bunkers, left, right, central bunkers as well. You really have to be aware of two things: the wind direction and exactly how far you can carry that tee shot if you want to find this fairway.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. And it makes the green in regulation. Birdie here yesterday. This putt again for birdie. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Just a great putt and a great win. Here we are at the 18th at Banff Springs, 578-yard par 5. Frank, did you like to finish a round with a par 5?
Certainly if I could birdie it, that's for sure. And there's a good chance here at 18 you can, but there's bunkers galore. They're all in play for various standards of play. But the reward is if you can pump one down the middle of the fairway there, and then you reduce this par 5 to simply a drive and an iron.